Let's begin with Ansible today. See, Ansible is also the configuration management tool. See, the roles and responsibilities. The purpose of the tool. Ansible tool is same as chef. Okay, so everything is chef. Everything is same as chef. Okay, what is the purpose and why do we use it? It's all same. So it's also configuration management tool. Configuration management tool. Okay, but see, we already have chef, right? Then why do we need Ansible? So why do we need Ansible? Okay, right. So, why? What are the advantages of Ansible is? Okay. So the first one is, see, it works on push mechanism. So what do you mean by push mechanism? So chef works on pull mechanism, right? So how about Ansible? It works on push mechanism. What do you mean by pushing and pulling? Yeah. Yeah, so it's correct. See, in Chef, so we see client contacts the server and then it pulls the cookbooks, right? It pulls the cookbooks, but here it is different. So it is push mechanism. Now here, that's my Ansible control machine. So here we have the Ansible nodes. These are Ansible node machines. Okay, so this is Ansible. You can call it Ansible server or Ansible control machine or whatever. Okay, but technically we call it control machine. You can call it some server, no issues. Okay, so Ansible control machine. Okay, and here we have the clients. These are the clients. Okay, right. So now here, yesterday we have seen chef. It works on pull mechanism, right? It works on pull mechanism, but whereas Ansible works on push mechanism. It works on push mechanism. So from Ansible control machine itself, we push. What we push? We push the configurations, right? So what do we call these configurations? The set of instructions. What do we call them here in Ansible? We call them playbooks. Yes, playbooks. So in Chef we call them cookbooks, right? In Ansible we call them playbooks. Right? So first we write that playbooks on the Ansible control machine or Ansible server, and then once they are ready, we push it onto the client machines, right? We push it onto the client machine. So it works on push mechanism. Okay. Now, so and one more advantage is, so if you remember the day before, okay, we were installing client machines, right? On clients we are installing Chef client package, correct? But if we have like about 50 or some bunch of machines, some bulk of machines, like, okay, then how do we install it? From workstation, we bootstrap it. We bootstrap from the workstation, right? So what happens is, if you have bulk of systems, even in that case, or whether you have one system or multiple systems, it does not matter about the size. So you need to install on each and every machine, correct? You need to install on each and every machine. Okay, so that is the disadvantage in Shell. But if you go for Ansible, okay, so look at here, we have client machines, right? And here we have the client machines. We have the client machines. Okay, so does not matter how many number of clients I have. So irrespective of number of clients, okay, I'm not going to install any client packages on the client machines. Okay, there is nothing to install on client machine. Okay, is that understand? So That's why we call Ansible as agentless. We call Ansible as agentless mechanism. It works on agentless mechanism. That's a second difference. It is agentless. Agentless. Okay. So first is it works on push mechanism. Second is it is agentless. What do you mean by agentless? Nothing to install on client machines. So if you don't install anything on the clients, we don't install anything on the client machines, how does the server understand that is the client? How does the server understand it is the client? It has to push the cookbooks onto the client machine. How does it understand? Okay. So here we are using push mechanism, and moreover it is agentless. And the second difference is agentless. Okay. So these are the major differences. Okay. So I'm talking in terms of architecture. In terms of architecture. So when we go technically into this, so I can explain more things. Okay. Right. So architecture level, these are the major differences. Okay. Now, so here, see, if I don't install anything on the client sides, as I said, it's agentless, right? Ansible is agentless. If you don't install anything on agents, how does the client understand this is how does the server understand this is the client machine? See, it can contact with any other server, right? Any other client machine. The Ansible server can contact with any other server, any other client machine, and that can be a client, right? So, but that should not happen. It should only contact particular client machine, and that will be our client for this agent. Sorry, for this server. Okay. So Ansible control machine or Ansible server has to contact only the client machines, not the other machines. But I said that Ansible works on agentless. It's a clientless or agentless. That means nothing to install anything on the agentless agents or clients. No. So in that case, what do we do? How server has to recognize that is a recognized client machine, that is authorized client machine, right? So here you can have 100 machines. Okay, in organization you can have hundreds and thousands of client machines, right? But only out of them, only 10 machines are Ansible agent machines. Ansible agent machines. Okay, but how do we authorize that it has to contact only the particular agent machine? So that we can do with the help of within the server itself. Within the server itself, we mention the IP addresses of the agent machines. So we mention the IP addresses of agent machines. So if you mention the IP addresses of the agents, then those will be authorized client machines for this server. Okay, but where do we mention that? We have a specific directory structure. In that we need to mention. Okay, we look into it. So see, if we have, like, for example, in chef, right? In chef we just need to install the client package. Here since we are not installing any client packages, since we are not installing any client packages on server itself, we need to mention this is my client, this is my client. Okay, right? So these are the major differences. It is agentless and no need to install anything on the remote servers. So totally relies on, yeah. Now, see, as I said, we discussed that. So it works on push mechanism, right? It works on push mechanism. So, but if server wants to contact the same client machine, there must be some other communication has to be established. So what is the kind of communication it works on? It works on SSH communication. So we are seeing that, right, in chef. So we are establishing SSH communication from workstation to the client machine. Okay, the same way here we need to set up SSH communication. So it works on SSH communication. See, you may need to deploy some files. So then obviously, or you may need to stop some services, install some services, so packages and so and so. Right. So at that time we need some authentication, right? We need authentication from the client machine. So that is the reason you need to set up SSH communication from server to the client machine. Okay. So without it is authentication, we can't set up anything. We can't control the client machine. So that's why we need to authenticate with SSH communication, which is passwordless communication. Okay. Yeah. So these are the major differences. Yeah. And so in Azure we are working on what kind of scripts? Ruby scripts. We're working on DSL Ruby scripts. Okay. But whereas Ansible, it is YAML. The script is YAML script. So we need to write the playbooks in YAML scripts. Okay. See, internally, what is YAML actually? Sorry, yeah, what is YAML? Again, it is Python. It's nothing but Python. So YAML is designed on Python. But the YAML scripts are very easy to understand. It's not as complex as Python. Okay, complex somewhat. We may feel somewhat complex, but YAML is very easy. See, in shell, we have seen that okay, those are DSL Ruby scripts, domain specific Ruby scripts. But are the Ruby scripts actually? No, they are customized. Those are domain specific Ruby scripts. The same way here YAML. So YAML is kind of DSL Python, you can say. It's a domain specific. Okay. So these are the major differences between Ansible and then Chef. Okay. So even if you take Puppet, okay. See, Puppet is also works on same as Chef. See, Puppet works on pull mechanism. The client has to pull the uh, manifest. Okay. So in Puppet we call them manifest. In Chef, let me give you a preview on this screen. So in Puppet we call them manifest. Okay, and then in Chef those are cookbooks, and then Ansible are playbooks. Okay, and both Puppet and Chef works on pull mechanism. Puppet and Chef. So whereas Ansible works on push mechanism. So these are the major differences. Okay. Okay. Let's look into the installation part. So installation part is very easy in Ansible. Okay, just only you need to download the EPEL release. What is EPEL is? EPEL. Okay, external enterprise Linux for external enterprise package for external Linux. Okay, external package for enterprise Linux. Okay, EPEL. See, what is this EPEL? Actually, here we are talking about. I'm talking about RHL. Okay, I'm talking about RHL. Okay, whether 6, 7, or whatever. But Ansible works on RHL 7. Remember this. Ansible works on RHL 7. Okay. So here, see, I need to install Ansible. I need to install Ansible. So if you want to install Ansible, what we need is we need an external package. We need an external. See, is Ansible. See, Ansible is an external package available on EPEL repository. See, EPEL is a repository. See, by default we have a repository, right? By default we have a repository in RHL. That's a default repository. Okay, M repository, right? But by default, Ansible package is not available on M repositories. Ansible package is not available on M repositories. Then where is it available? It is available on a repository called EPEL repository. Okay, so your Ansible package is available on EPEL repository. First, you need to download the EPEL repository. And once you download the FL repository, then you can start installing it. Right now we need an external package. See, since the package is not available by default within the M repository, that is considered as external package. Okay, so where is that package is available? Within the M repository. Sorry, within the FL repository. Okay, right? So first we need to download FL repository first. So once you download the FL repository, then you can start installing Ansible with the help of same yum command, yum install Ansible. Okay. So how do you install it? So in the document I have given the URL. Okay. So you can download this URL with the help of wget. So what is wget in RHL? So if you want to download something, we use wget through command prompt. Okay. Through command prompt, just enter this command wget.
If you want to download this,
We need to download FL repository, right? So we need to download FL repository. So since see, FL is a repository. FL is an external repository. FL is an external repository. That's what I mentioned here. It's an external repository. Okay, it is not available by default FL repository. So you need to download that FL repository first. You download the FL repository. But how do we download the FL repository? With the help of this URL. But what is wget command? So wget command is used to download something from the Google, from the internet. Okay. See, how do you download it? Firstly, go to the Google, go to the browser, and then click on download so and so. But if you have straight away, you have a URL. Yeah. Yeah. So it is, but this is wget is used to download something from the internet. So this is the URL if you want to download FL repository. So first download this FL repository first. Once the FL repository is downloaded, then we can start installing Ansible. So what is the command to install in RHL? Yum install. The same command. Okay, yum install and then package name. That's it. Yum install and then package name. Okay, but before that, there is one more important command here. Yum repo list. Okay, yum repo. What this command does is, see, we already have a which repository we already have by default. Yum repository. It's a default repository, right? It's a default repository. Now we have downloaded one more repository. What is that repository? FL repository. Now how many repositories we have? Two repositories we have, right? One is default repository, other one is FL repository. Now, see, once you download this repository, you need to activate that repository. You need to activate that repository. Okay. So once you activate that repository, you go for yum install Ansible. Yum install Ansible, right? So whenever you type this command through command prompt, okay, then what happens? First, the package will be looked for in yum repository, which is a default repository. So yum looks for the package, whether the package is available within the yum repository or not. Of course, it is not available. That is the reason we have downloaded FL repository.
Without them, you can't.
Without them, you can do it, no issues.
How can you check it?
Sorry?
How can you check it? Yeah.
We don't check it. That will be checked by automatically. We don't check it. Okay, we don't check it manually. So that will be checked automatically. See, when you go for yum install, what is the mean yum install? The package will be looked for in yum repository. Okay. So now the package is not available within the yum repository. So that is the reason we have downloaded FL repository. So since we have already activated all the repositories, right? We have activated FL repository as well. Okay, but how do we activate FL repository? Yum repo list. So when you type yum repo list, what happens? All the available repositories will be activated. Then whenever you try to install something, the package will be installed and it will be searched, package will be searched from all the repositories. So whether this is available in so and so repository, if not, look for another repository, just activating all the repositories to be simple. Yum repo list. Okay, is this clear? So you need to follow 3 steps here. The first step is wget and then the URL.
Down.
Just download first the URL first.
WHTTP.
Sorry.
W first one. HTTP.
Yeah, HTTP. Okay. So download this first. So once you download it, then activate this yum repository. Sorry, activate the EPEL repository. How can we activate it? With the help of yum repository. And after that, yum install Ansible. Simple. Okay. So that is your server will be ready. Okay. Now how about the client? Now we have Ansible control machine, Ansible server. Okay. Now we have Ansible server is ready. Then how about server? Sorry, how about the client? Do we need to install anything on the client sides? No, right? That's why we call it agentless. So nothing to install anything, nothing to install on client side.
Any service.
Yes. Okay. So there is no installations on client side. But what we need to do? We need to set up SSH. Set up SSH communication from server to the client. Okay. Right? Now let's look into this part now. I'm working on RHL 7 now. Okay.
So what is the latest in RxC?
Latest is 7.5. 0.5 I guess. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So here no. Yeah. So first we need to download it. Okay. Download
You work in Ubuntu and
CentOS, of course. I'll take that part as well. So once we're done with RHL, I'll show you how to install on CentOS as well. Okay. Anyway, it's already documented. It's very simple. It is easier than Ansible. So it is easier than RHL if you want to install on CentOS. Okay. So what do we need first? We need to install, download it. We need to download it first. Okay. So first download it first. Okay. So once you download it, okay, just use this URL. Okay. So if you want to get a find a URL from Google, you can do it, no issues. But this URL works perfectly. So it's already downloaded anyway. Okay. If you go to where did I download it? CD / etc m.repos. See this location, okay, in etc m.repos.d. So we have all the repositories so available. So this is the location. I think you people already know how to set up m repository. Okay, so in this location we set up the m repositories, m.repos.d/etc. See, first download your EPEL repository in this location. Okay, download your EPEL repository in this location.
so once enter that URL, that download directly that path, right?
Of course to your local path, local working directory. Okay, just download it. It will be downloaded. Okay, so once it is downloaded, so you can see an RPM like this. You can see an RPM like this. Okay, and after that, what is the next thing? Go for yum repo list.
Activate that.
Yes, so repository will be activated. Okay, and then you can see a repository like this, yum.epel.repo. See, open. See what exactly repositories contains. Does it contain some information or some kind of a URLs and so and so.
changes.
See, the always repositories contains the URLs. Repositories contains URLs. Okay. So what is the purpose of these URLs? See, whether you are yum repository or some other external package repository, whatever, always yum repositories contains the URLs. So what is the purpose of these URLs is your packages will be downloaded from so and so location. That is the purpose of repository. What is the purpose of repository first? To install, your packages will be installed from the repositories. Packages will be installed from repository. But how does the repository know the packages is available on so and so location? Right? So that is mentioned within the in the form of URLs within the repository. Okay. See, if you take my default repository, say this is my yum repository. Okay. Vi. See, what is this contain? This contains some base URL, right? That means some URL. So that means my default packages are available in so and so location. That's what it means. Within my local host system, I have a link called public directory. Okay. So my default packages are available in so and so location. So always repository contains the URLs where the packages are available. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. Now you can go with yum install -y Ansible. Okay. Yum install -y Ansible. So only 3 steps. So hardly takes not even less than 5 minutes, not even 3 minutes actually. So only time takes is just to download the particular FL repository, and then installation part hardly takes a minute. So within 3 to 4 minutes you can install Ansible, easy. Okay. So if you want to install on CentOS, firstly in RHEL 7 we were downloading that FL repository, by using some URL, But whereas in CentOS we don't need to download any external EPL repositories kind of thing. Okay, all you need to do is update your yum repository first. So once you update your yum repository, the Ansible package will be downloaded from CentOS website. Then the package will be available within our yum repository in CentOS. But whereas in RHEL we are downloading FL repository. Here we don't need to download FL repository. We just need to update our existing yum repository with the help of yum update. Okay.
It will be active once updated.
It will be, sorry.
CentOS. It will be active once
So it is updated. Whenever you update your repository, yum repository, what happens? The packages which are not available within your yum repository, okay, all those packages will be downloaded from CentOS website. Okay, that is the purpose of update. So updating means what do you mean by updating? Just getting the changes. Whatever we don't have it, and what we have it on CentOS. So get all those packages. Okay, clear? So after that, yum install, go with this yum install FL release. Okay, and then go with yum install Ansible line. See what is this second command does? Yum install FL release. So this is same as, we forgot this command, right? Sorry, we forgot this command in RHEL. Okay, so actually we have 4 steps actually. So one is first download it, other one is yum install Ansible no arc. Just 1 second here. See, first we download wget, right? Wget https so it will be downloaded. Okay, so once it is downloaded, you can see an RPM like this. You can see an RPM FL release latest 7.noarc RPM. It's an RPM. Now just install that RPM. Yum install. Just 1 second. So this is RHL. It needs minimum 2 GB RAM. Okay, so that's why it is slow. Yeah. So look at here. So it is slow. Please bear with me.
That's not. Please.
It takes time. Okay, and then go with the package name. Okay, so go with the package name. So once it is installed, once you go with the package name, so this will be installed. Okay, right? So that will be installed. See, once it is installed, then you can see a package will be a repository will be created like apple.repo. Apple.repo. Okay. So before I forgot this step. Sorry. Okay. Apple.repo. So repository will be available and that will be installed. And after that, what is the next step? Yum repo list, right? The package will repository will be activated, and then go with yum install Ansible. Okay. The only step is we need to install it. We forgot that step. Okay, right? The same steps here, even in RH in CentOS as well. So except wget, we don't need wget because the package is already available on Ansible, sorry, on CentOS repository. But we need to update our repository. So once it's updated, go with yum install apple release, and then go with yum install Ansible Y. Okay, just write execute these commands whatever as it is mentioned in the document. So that will work. Okay. Now, so Ansible, check for Ansible version. Ansible hyphen version. Now we have, this is a version. So the version is installed. This version is installed. Okay. Now, if you can see that version, that is successful configuration. And one more thing here. So we have not set up the client machines, right? We don't have any client machines yet. Okay, let me boot a client machine. Let me spin up a client machine here. Let me go with some machine which is already running. So this is already running. I just want to run this. Okay. Now on the client side. So what we need to do on client side? So we need to set up SSH configuration. From where?
Fine.
From client, of course, from client. Okay. From server to the client machine or host machine. Okay. From server to the client or agent. Okay. We need to set up SSH configuration. Okay. SSH configuration. Generate a certificate on server. Okay. And then push that certificate onto the client machine. Okay. And one more thing here, I just want to ping this. Let me show you this. See, this is normal ping, right? We know this ping. Localhost means this is normal pinging. This is how we ping it. But I want to ping using Ansible. I want to ping using Ansible. What is the purpose is? Because Ansible works on SSH configuration, right? See, how do you check whether the machines are pinging with the help of ping command? But if you want, since we are working on Ansible, if you want to check whether these machines are Ansible configured, whether the server is configured with client by Ansible configured or not, how can we check it with the help of Ansible ping? See, we know normal pinging, but how can we check whether the particular IP machine, whether the particular agent machine is Ansible configured or not? I want to check it. So how can we check it with the help of Ansible ping -m. As of now, I'm pinging localhost. I'm not pinging any remote machines here. If you're able to ping Ansible, okay, no host match, no issues. So I'll come back to this step later on. Okay. So this is how we ping it with the help of Ansible. Now, so what is my agent machine here? What is my IP address? 242.200. Okay. So I just want to check it first whether I'm able to ping it or not. 200. I should be. Yeah. Okay. Nice. So I'm able to ping it. But are they Ansible configured? How can I check it? With the help of Ansible ping -m and the whole remote machine name. So no host match, nothing to do. So I'm able to ping it. Which one? Which one? Salesforce. No, sure. This. Oh, sorry. This. Michael. So now, so am I able to do Ansible ping? I'm not able to do Ansible ping, right? Okay. So I should be able to do Ansible ping. If you are able to do Ansible ping, then the Ansible server is able to communicate with your client machine. So how do we do that? Okay. So sorry.
Also maintain IP address.
Yes. So we need to mention that IP address within our where our server. Yeah, of course. Within the server. Okay. Within the server side. Okay. We need to mention our IP address of the remote machine. But where do we need to mention that? We need to mention that within the Ansible host file, not etc host file. etc host file is different here. See, we have etc, right? In etc we have a file called host file. We have a host file. So what is the purpose of this file? So this is your system related host file. So in this file we mention our client fully qualified domain names and the IP addresses. Okay. So the IP address and then the fully qualified domain name and then not the host name, alias name. That's alias name. Okay. Right. The same way we have the same way we have Ansible host file. So we have seen system host file. That is the operating system host file. The same way we have Ansible host file. Okay. But what is the Ansible home directory is? etc Ansible. Okay, this is Ansible home directory. etc Ansible is Ansible home directory. Enter. ls. Here we have a file called host file. Okay. So vi host. Right. So in this particular location, this file mention your agent IP addresses, your client IP addresses. Okay. So you can mention wherever you like, no issues. See, look at here. I have already mentioned so and so IP addresses. Already mentioned it. Okay. I just want to mention on some IP address here. What is IP address of the agent machine? 242.200, right? Okay. Save this. Now, can I do Ansible ping now? Yeah. Ansible ping -m, not localhost, IP address 242.200. No host match, nothing to do still. Okay. Is it the same IP address? Let me check the IP addresses again. Okay. 242.200. Yeah. So let me check the host file again. Yeah, it is 242.200. Okay. Let's do the next part, which is, so since I'm not able to ping it, so I want to set up SSH communication. Okay. SSH communication. So how do we set up SSH communication? What are the steps? SSH hyphen keygen. Okay, and then enter. Yes, enter. Enter. Now the key has been generated. And what is the next step? SSH hyphen copy ID hyphen I, and which machine? 192.168.242.200. Okay. So it is added, and then SSH hyphen add. So it is added. Now just log into that machine with the help of SSH root user 192.168.242.200. So I logged into which machine? My agent machine. Okay, you can check the IP address now. What is IP address now? So I'm able to log into the remote machine, the client machine. Now exit now. So I'm back to my Ansible. Okay. So this is my Ansible server. This is my Ansible server 163. Okay, fine. Now again try to ping it. Ansible ping -m 192.168.242.200. No host match. Why it is no host match? So Ansible, okay, 192.168.242.200 -m. Yes, typo mistake. Actually, it is Ansible IP then ping, but I was doing it other way. Ansible ping IP address, but this is the other way. Ansible IP address. Sorry. Yeah, but that is not working, right? So yeah, I think that should work, but that's not working. So Ansible IP address, then -m ping. Now, just say the system is not SSH configured. Okay, the system is not SSH configured. So, okay, SSH hyphen keygen, but our system is SSH configured, right? So what I want to do is I want to generate a new certificate now. So this is a new certificate, but remember this: I not copied this certificate to the client machine. I have just generated certificate. Previously, I have generated and then copied that certificate, but now I have just generated that certificate. So that means the agent is not having the new certificate, right? The agent is not having the new generated certificate on server. So that means are they SSH configured? No, because the certificate is not copied yet. Okay, now let me again Ansible 192.168.242.200 -m ping. So I'm able to ping it. Okay. Let me check this SSH root 68.242.200. Still I'm able to ping it, so that's why. Or else just try this from your end. Okay, before you copy that certificate, okay, before you generate SSH communication, okay, what you do is you just try to ping it by using Ansible ping. So you will be getting some error message that machine is not generated. So machine is not Ansible ping. Machine is not able to do Ansible ping. Okay, you may be able to do normal pinging, but not Ansible ping. You get some kind of error. Okay, right? So if you get such kind of error, just go with SSH configuration first. So once you set up SSH configuration, you can go with Ansible ping. Okay, now so we have everything ready. The setup is ready, the client is ready, server is ready. Okay, what is the next now? Let's try to run some ad hoc commands. Try to run some ad hoc commands. So what is the purpose of these ad hoc commands is, for example, client has requested, okay, to create a file on his machine. So that is an ad hoc command. What do you mean by ad hoc? It's only unexpected, and that too one time activity. Just say, okay, it is just ad hoc command means it's only one time activity. Okay, that is unexpected. See, since if it is a one time activity, are we going to write a playbook for the just to create a file and that too only for one time? Are we going to write the playbooks? Are we going to write the YAML scripts? No, it is only one time activity. So why do we need to write the scripts? We don't do it, right? We don't do it. Then what we do? So you can execute some ad hoc commands. You can execute some ad hoc commands. So let's look into how can we execute these ad hoc commands. See, such kind of features we don't have in Chef or Puppet. So we have these features, these functionalities in Ansible. Okay. That's why it's also not working. Yeah.
Mali click is the Mali label.
Some work. Let me open a new terminal. Still not working.
Drop.
Where does this come from? I should change the memory for this. That's why it is too slow.
Really
It's
launch
not
it.
working. Nothing is working.
You can't try to exit.
Now
Log
sets
out.
up. Nothing is working here. Just bear with me. Okay. Just want to restart it. Okay. In the meanwhile, we'll go with some theory part here. Okay. So let's look into some ad hoc commands. So what is the IP address of our client system? 192.168.242.1 200, right? Okay. See, see, what I want to do is I want to know some information of a file on my client system. Okay, but here look at the resource type here. Which resource type I'm using here? The file resource type. See, in Chef or in Chef or Puppet, we call them resource types. Here in Ansible, we call them modules. Okay, so we have seen some resource types, right? Like templates, okay, file, service, package, okay, users, groups, so and so. Okay, so but here in Ansible, we call them attributes. Okay, the file is an attribute, right? Right. So what I want to do, I want to know some information of a file. Okay, so mention the path of your file which you want to know the information. So what do you mean by information here? So whenever you type this, you get some message like, so what is the I mean this file, in this location we have a file called etc location, we have fs type file. Okay, I want to know the information of the file. So what do you mean by information of the file? The owner of the file, the mode of the file, okay, the permissions, so and so. I want to know the information of the file. That's why I'm going with the option called -m. Okay, so -m means mention the location. Okay, path. It's not getting started. The same way you can create a file, you can delete a file, okay, with the help of some ad hoc commands. So these are the ad hoc commands I have mentioned here. So Ansible on the client system. Okay, and the file resource type is resource type, and then path is so and so. Okay, in so and so location, in so and so temp location, I want to create a file called hello. Okay, and after that mention state is directory. So what do you mean by state is directory?
Direct
Yeah, directory
folder.
yeah, the folder will be created. So in this location, in temp,
Hello.
hello directory will be created in this particular client machine, to be simple. Okay, and the mode of the file is, that mode means the permissions, and the owner is so and so. You can mention all the attributes of the file or directory. It's taking time. Okay, so let me check Ansible ping, Ansible localhost IFRM ping. Okay, I'm able to ping so locally, as well as I just want to ping the remote. Yeah, so changed. Okay, failed to connect to, permission denied. Yeah, because SSH configuration. You remember, we have generated certificate, but we have not copied that certificate, right? So SSH hyphen keygen. Okay, then SSH hyphen copy hyphen ID hyphen I. Okay, and then root user, the machine name, IP address. So it is copied, and the last step is SSH hyphen add. Okay, now so let's log into that. SSH root, right? Yeah,
Yes.
root, right? Yeah. So root at the rate 192.168.242.200. Okay, logged in without success, without a password. So exit. Now let's run some attack commands. Ansible. Okay. IP address then yum. Okay, ping. Sorry, not ping. The attribute is file is attribute, and the location is path is equals to some. So we need a file, right, from the client machine. Okay. So there is a file called hello world.java jar. Okay. In which location? In slash dir1. Okay. Slash dir1, and the file name is hello world.jar. Okay. Yeah. Hello world.jar. Okay. Now enter. So false, failed true, message is absent, cannot continue. Okay. Now that means so there is something wrong with the file. Okay, let me check what is going wrong. Let me check the syntax first. That is important here. So no issues with the syntax, I guess. The path slash dir1. Okay, and the IP address is okay. Ansible hyphen m. Fine. It says us the file is not present. So the file is absent. But the file is present, right? Let me check the. Yeah. Okay. Look at here. It is uppercase H. So these things are should be careful. So that's why it says the file is absent. Okay. Still file is absent. Cannot continue. Okay. Let me put it easy. Slash dr1 so that we can know what's going wrong. Yeah. So there is something wrong with the file name. So now look at here slash dir1, right? So I want to know the information of this directory or a file. So look at here. So it is first it is success. Okay, first it is success, and then the group, the mode, owner, the path, okay, size of the file so and so, user ID so and so. Okay, so why this was going wrong was I think that probably because of the spelling mistakes or whatever. Some hello world dot jar.
Actually, we didn't check the permissions.
Execute. No, actually that is 1 second. Let me check it. Yeah, the probably. Yeah, it does not have any execute permissions. Correct. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So let me change the permissions. Okay. Let me change the permissions and then run that again. Hello world.jar. Still, it is same issue. Absent. It says spelling mistake or something like hello world.
That is, I believe that is file, right? It's not contain any, that's not directory.
But
So
still,
there
it's
is
not
no,
an issue, I guess. Let me check. So it's a jar file. I know that's a package. Okay. But that should not be the case. Where it's a package, okay. Or else let me touch some file. Okay. Now we have file one. Probably, yeah. You might be right. Okay. Let me check that now. File one. If it is works if it works now, then probably yeah, that's problem with the package. Yeah. So since that's a package, right? It's a jar package. That's why I'm not able to get that kind of information. Okay. That's
maybe.
yeah. Right. So that way you can fetch the information of your file. But if you want to create a file or directory, what you can do? So here Ansible IP address, then hyphen m. Okay, file. I want to create a file. Hyphen a path is equals to location where you want to create a file. So in dir1, mention the location. So dir1, I want to create some file called info.txt file, and then state is, so whether you want to create a file or directory. So we need to mention that. Okay. For example, if you want to create info directory, okay, you can mention that this info state is directory. Directory. Okay. So mention is a directory. Okay. State is directory. But if you want to create a file, state is file. Okay. Now it is success. So look at here. This is success. Okay. Now this is in some yellowish color. Okay. So if you see any message in Ansible, okay. Previously we were looking into something in green colors, right? So we're looking at something in green colors. So if you see anything in green color, that is success. Even if you see something in yellowish color, that's also success. But what is the difference between these two is, green means it is success but no changes has happened. Yellow means it is success, some changes have been taken place. Right. So previously we were fetching some information, right? So that means, is it a change? No, it's not a change. We're just fetching the information. But now here we have created a file. That means we are doing some changes. So that's why it's in yellow color. Okay. So let's go and check it on the client machine. Look at here, info directory is create. Right. So these are some ad hoc commands. So if you want to delete a directory or a file, we have, look at here. Everything is same, but the state is absent. Okay, if you want to create a file, you can create a file as well, no issues. Okay, and then here, if you want to copy a file, now here resource type is, everything is same except I'm using resource type is copy. Okay, you want to try these things, just try these ref comments from your side. Okay, so you can try the copy command as well as the absent, just these two commands, nothing else. Okay, try to copy a file from your server to the client machine. But where do you mention the, yeah, so look at here. So within that you need to mention the source is so and so and the destination is so and so. What do you mean by source?
Copying from where?
Yeah,
To place.
to play. That's it. To be simple. Nothing else. So these are very simple commands. Just try to run these commands from your side, add our commands. And tomorrow onwards, we'll start with the playbooks. Okay, how to write the playbooks and the YAML scripts, so and so. Okay.